Hello and welcome back to my channel. I haven't really done a video in like 6 months but a lot has actually happened in 6 months. Last thing I told you about was that I couldn't get married, but guess what guys, I did. That's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that in my little video, shall we? But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and explain how I did the makeup for my wedding, because I actually did it myself. If I can figure it out, I'll show some pictures. Here's some pictures of me. And yeah, I'm just going to go talk you through that. I've also got a new thing to try on camera. Well, I've tried it already. Do a little demo of these. These are the Kiss Falscara. So they look like this. They're like little, they're called little wisps. They are the dupe of Lashify, I would presume. These are some of the wisps. So you get like a starter kit, and yeah, we'll go through that together as well. So yeah, let's do makeup I did for my wedding, a little update, and let's go, I guess. Right, so when I did my wedding makeup, I did my eyes first. I had a makeup artist there, but she did one of the bridesmaids, and oh, she was so good. I'll tag her Instagram if you like. Yeah, she was really good. I'm just a bit funny. I like doing my own makeup, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself. Was that smart? You can tell from the videos, you can decide. I did something quite neutral, something quite simple, nothing too fancy, nothing too elaborate, nothing that I hadn't done before. I have new setup here. It's great. The things that I used to do my makeup on the wedding day, so the eyes, I used bits of these palettes from Huda, because they're neutral, they're nice and simple. And I also use this. This is quite old, but I think they still do it, but like in a different kind of format. This is the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. I've got to be careful because one of the shades falls out. But there you go. So I took a primer. I would recommend using a primer if you're doing your own makeup for your wedding, because you want it to last. You don't necessarily have to if you don't want to. If you don't use eyeshadow primer, bitch, just ignore me. Like, do what you like. But I just popped this on my eyelid. This is the paint pot from MAC in Painterly, I believe. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And yes, I did get married in the pandemic. So initially, if you watched my last video, my wedding was meant to be on the 30th of March 2020, but it was cancelled 7 days before the wedding, and I was a bit like, oh no. But then we rebooked it for the 7th of September 2020, just because we just thought, okay, pick a new date, see what happens, and obviously if we have to move, we'll move it, whatever. And then the date was coming up and things started to get relaxed a bit, and like a bit, yeah, it got to September-ish and we could have 30 guests. So we thought, let's just do it, because we don't know when we're going to get to actually have the wedding. So we thought, sod it, let's do it and see what happens. And I must say guys, even though there's only 30 guests, it was like really close friends and family, and it was great. So I would have not changed anything. I'm really happy that we did what we did, and it's something to talk about, isn't it? You know, yeah, got married in pandemic. I'm so cool. And we're gonna get to have our like big old reception this year, so next year, sorry. So it's gonna be a big old party. So what I initially did was I took a nice, look, I can tell you the colours and everything, but you focus on me please. So I can tell you the colours that I'm using, but to be fair, you just use whatever's nice for your skin tone. If the light is poo, I'm sorry. I'm doing this quite late in the afternoon. So what I did first was I did my eyes, and then I did my eyebrows, and then I did my base. So we're going to do it that way. Reason why is because if you do your base first and then you try and do your eyeshadow, it might fall down onto your base, and you don't really want to ruin your base on your wedding, because then you'll be screwed. So I just took a nude shade all over the lid. That's just to set the primer down a bit. You don't have to set the primer down. And I wanted to try and remember. I must say, when you get married, your whole day is like a blur, so try and enjoy it as much as you can. This is called, see if it tilts better. Focus on me please. Hello. This is called Nudie, and that's called Cashmere Bunny. So I took like a little mixture of them, and I put it in my crease just slightly, just kept my eyes open just so I could get a little bit of depth in there. Just basic windshield wiper motions, hopefully you can see. what I'm doing. Also, if you look down slightly, then you can kind of feel the crease area. Don't know if you can see that. Just very neutral looking, nothing too crazy, but dark enough so it kind of shows up in the pictures. That was my plan. So I quite like dramatic eye makeup, so I had to like tone it down slightly, because otherwise I would have gone like dark, smoky. Let's do this. I'm just taking a little bit of Cashmere Bunny and like smudging it on the outer corner, just to create a little bit more depth. And I know it just looks like crap at the moment, but it does get better. So then I'm taking a nude palette. This is the light one, and I'm just gonna clear my brush off. Oh, this is a MAC 221, I think. Yes, it is. Something warm. It's like a warm colour. I am dropping everything this afternoon, for God's sake. Picked it up. So then I'm going to take, this is the medium palette actually, you can see, and I took, I believe it was this shade, like a rosy tone, and then I mixed it with like a warmer brown tone, and all I did was just warm it up a little bit, just so it was a bit more extra colour, bit of extra depth, and you could see it a bit better. And didn't go up too high to the brow bone, because that's something I really like to do, but I didn't. And if you can see, we just got slight colour. I'm going to take a petite crease brush, and I'm going to take the colour Sexpresso from this Natural Eyes palette, just a little tiny bit on the brush, and I just started to wiggle it in the outer corner for some depth. I did the very simple eye look, like I did not go over the top. You probably can't even see what I'm doing. Doing a good job. Oh no, I'm doing a really good job. Yeah, so I did not go over the top, despite my tendency to go over the top. Literally, I just felt it very, very simple, very like, not slapdash, but I didn't put too much thought into it, because when I put too much thought into things, it kind of like makes me panic a bit. And I'm just taking a little bit more of the warmer brown shades and just popping it to blend that in. Then I'm taking a big fluffy brush again, blending the edges. Yeah, this does look very similar. Take like this warm brown here on the little crease brush that I use for the outer corners, and I'm just gonna smoke it out a little bit again. I also did a winged eyeliner when I got married, because let me tell you, mate, my eyeshadow is not complete unless I have a winged eyeliner. So then I took this like neutral creamy shade from the palette here, and I took it on a flat brush, and I kind of just like tidied up the lid to brighten it up a bit. Brightened up the lid mainly. And then I took, I believe I took a flat brush. I took this shimmery colour here called Heaven. It's like a, no, Silk Teddy it's called, sorry. It's like a nudie pink with some shimmer in it. I just placed it on my lid like so, just so it kind of, this is probably quite a classic like bridal look, I must say, like that, just so it brightened up the inner corner a little bit. And then what I did, I just tidied up the outer corner a little bit. So I took a baby wipe, and on the shape, I always do this, I always like a wing shape. There's nothing unusual there. Like that. So I've got the winged shape. And then I did my eyeliner. I know this is probably the most boring look, but I look nice in the pictures, So for liner, I actually used this Pillow Talk eyeliner, which is a burgundy colour. Don't know if you can see that. My nails are the Kiara Sky ones again. Probably should use a mirror and not the viewfinder. So what I did was I just did a standard wing with it, to be honest. Half a wing. It was not that thick, but I can blend it out. So, did a wing. And then I blended it with a brush. This is a Zoeva like winged linery type brush. And all I'm going to do is just blend the top edge of the liner. So yeah, then you just end up with like a little wing and smoky-ish eyes. No, quite boring. What can I say? So yeah, and then I just took a like little smudgy brush, like a little flat smudgy tapery brush, and then like a little bit of a warm brown shadow, and I just smudged it over that liner to kind of smoke it out slightly. So yeah, there you go, very basic. I might add a little bit more. I feel like I had more in the crease. And once you've had your liner, you can kind of see where you need to add more as well anyway. That's alright, that's good, that's good. Then I did my eyebrows. So let's do my eyebrows. I just used long wearing eyebrow products and just did them how I normally would. I would always recommend like just doing your eyebrows how you normally would. I wouldn't say do anything different when you get married. Don't try any new techniques. And yeah, so I'm just going to do my eyebrows and I will be back. Okay, we're back. I've had to put a light on in the background, so I hope you can kind of see. Oh yeah, you can see. So I've done my eyebrows. I used the Browsings Pro palette. I'm in the shade light medium, and I used Benefit Precisely My Brow in a number 3. And then to give some like texture, I used the brow blade and I used the lip wink pen. I used the shade Dark Drapes just to give like some texture and like draw the lines. I know they look quite bold now, but once I've sorted everything out, they won't look as bold. Then I did my skin. I used that as well. Jesus, I went all out, mate. I went all out. So for primer, I do recommend using a primer. You don't have to, but it's your choice. I mean, if you don't use primer, don't use it. But if you do, I would recommend using it, only because it's your wedding day. Treat yourself. I used this. This is the Professional mattifying gel primer stuff. And all I did was I just popped a little bit on my oily areas. It's like a clearish gel. Oh, and obviously I moisturised, did my skincare, all that good stuff before I started doing my makeup. Good skincare, that's what I would recommend. Like at least 3 months before your wedding. Like really focus on your skin. Just make sure it's moisturised and drink loads of water. Loads and loads. Yeah. You know. Then I used a pore filling primer. You could use Professional, you could use whatever you like. Oh, don't fall off. I used this Makeup Forever. This is my favourite one, and I just rubbed it in. I decided to get a new foundation before the wedding and to wear on the wedding day, and I hadn't actually worn it until the wedding day, so that was brave. Don't recommend doing that. Okay, and then I took this face base. I know this is a lot, isn't it? But if you're going to do it, mate. And I put this on the sides where my cheeks are, because sometimes they look a little bit dry. And to be fair, you kind of want to look like your best self on your wedding day. So I just used the products that made me feel like my best self. And then I used this Charlotte Tilbury base. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter, obviously in the lightest shade ever, Come on guys, let's not be silly here. It's pretty obvious what shade. And I obviously cleaned all my brushes before I did my wedding makeup, you know. But all this was to do was to give like a nice glow to the face, something hydrating-ish for the foundation and that to sit on. I used L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte, and I used Dior Face and Body. This is in the shade Zero Cool Rosy. This is the #1 Porcelain Mattifying Infallible Foundation. So I used them too, and I think I used a sponge. I got the foundation and I put a little bit on the back of my hand. So I just mixed it up on the back of my hand, and then I dotted it onto my face. Then I just took a beauty blender, damp one obviously, patted it in. And I started off quite light and then worked my way up. I didn't do anything in terms of colour correction. I didn't do anything like that because I didn't want anything to like show through. I didn't want there to be like a hint of green or like a hint of purpley or anything like that. Right, and then I did a little bit on my forehead. Oh. I've never put too much foundation on my forehead. I don't know why. I just don't tend to. I did the most coverage in the centre of my face. I always recommend doing like quite light layers, like I said. So the layers on my forehead and like that kind of thing were really, really light, and I kind of rubbed the blender over my forehead area instead of like dabbing, and I dragged it down my neck as well. Just make sure you've got a nice even coverage everywhere. Zoom in a bit, see what it looks like. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did, to be fair. How boring am I, honestly? But I really don't think like wedding makeup should be groundbreaking. I know that sounds like really stupid, but like, you want to look like yourself. That's what when I was doing it, I was like, I want to look like me. Like, I want to look like a nicer version of me. Because, you know, I don't want to look like an absolute idiot, but there you go. I know I definitely corrected under my eyes. Colour correction anyway. So for that, I use the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Peachy colour corrector in the shade Fair Pale. For this, I use like a big fluffy brush because I've got nails on, but I think on the day I didn't actually have any nails on. So I just, yeah. So all I did was I just dabbed this under my eye while looking down, just so I could get rid of most of the darkness. Don't know if you can see that already. And I always recommend doing your makeup in natural light as well. I mean, I'm not, obviously, because it's dark really early, but hey, you're getting the gist of it. It's a lot brighter under there now, hope you can see. And then I took a sponge and just patted that in gently, just so there's nothing extra. You don't want any excess. I used NARS Radiant Creamy and then NARS Soft Matte Complete. So what I did was I took a little bit of this, just here, that is all, a little bit on the chin, a little bit there, and then I put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I blended this in, and I took a little bit around here as well actually. So I'm just gonna pat this in. You can obviously do what works for you guys. I mean, I didn't want anyone else to do my makeup because I kind of thought that I'd be really critical of it and I wouldn't have enjoyed it. My hair, on the other hand, I had someone do my hair and it was really enjoyable and I really enjoyed the process of it. Boring, yes. Nice, potentially. Now, I always go around my eyebrows with a bit of concealer. You don't have to do this. This is optional. I like to do it because I feel like it gives my eyebrows a nicer shape, because I don't have a nice shape. Just gonna do this eyebrow first and go down. And like, I haven't set anything either, so I can do this. Like I said, like, I did my makeup on my wedding day how I normally do my makeup, just with a little bit of extra like pizzazz, you know. And I took this like pointed tip brush and I just blended the edges of that. Don't know if you can. So blend the edges, blend the front, just make sure you blend everything. Take a little bit at the front, and then if you need to touch up your eyebrows you can. So I'm just going to take the pencil that I used and just draw in anything that I feel like I want to. So I just do a little bit there, a little bit here, just make it look a bit more. I am so shaky, this is a joke. I must admit, when I did my makeup on my wedding day, I was really nervous, like something was going to go wrong and like I was going to get the right ump, because that's what I tend to do, get the right ump, but it didn't. And I was very shocked, very, very shocked. Because yeah, normally something always goes wrong and I get really cross. So yeah, go me. I think I did my makeup overall in like about an hour and a half, I think it was. But I separated it, so I did my eyes and my brows first, then I got my hair done, and then I did my face. I'd recommend doing that because when you put your face on and then you have like hot hair tools around your face, it can kind of like melt your makeup off. So I would recommend doing your face after your hair. Just a tip. Oh, I'll tell you what I did use. I did a bit of cream contouring. I was brave to do this, wasn't I? So I took the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand and I took it. This is really like gentle, I'd say. I took a little bit here, a little bit here, and I even did a little bit down my nose. I know, I was feeling brave. And I did a teeny weeny bit here, and I buffed it in. So I buffed it in a bit, blended it up. Don't worry if it goes a little bit slightly down, it's not the end of the world. Like, we can easily carve it back out again. And then I took a sponge and I just gently tapped this in. And there you go, got a reasonably subtle nose contour there. So there you go, that's a contour and all that good stuff done. So I used the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder and Laura Mercier to set my face. I took the Charlotte Tilbury under my eyes on a brush and then blended that in. So start from the outer, go in, and then flick. Can I help you? What do you need? Come on then. Sorry, we've got a guest. Oh, he's lonely. Oh dear. Oh, do you not like it? Hello, this is Odin. He's your little baby. Go on, go. And then I set my face with the Laura Mercier. A little bit of, not baking as such, but I just set the main areas. But I pushed it in, I really pushed it in with the sponge. I didn't leave it sitting on the top of the skin or anything like that. So yeah, do that as well. Oh, I tell you what I forgot to contour. I did my jawline. I definitely did that. 100%. So yeah, I did that. I'm not insecure about my jawline or anything, but hey, lockdown meant I ate a lot more chocolate than I was planning to. Anyway, yeah, powder. So I'm just really, oh god, I get a very sweaty upper lip area, so I definitely did this. Patted it there. I did a little bit on my forehead. Once again, light layers. I did not bake anywhere in particular. Most of the places I just did very subtle, gentle powdering. And then I took a fluffy brush, stippling brush. I loaded it up with some powder and then buffed it everywhere else. So I did that, and then I did some bronzer and blush. I used my Marc Jacobs bronzer in Tantastic, and for blush I used the Pillow Talk blush. Another stippling brush for my bronzer, buffed it in, like tapped it off quite a decent amount, and then I just bronzed up my face. I went a little bit heavier than I normally would, just because obviously taking pictures and stuff, I wanted it to show up and I wanted it to last a bit longer. So sorry, this lighting's appalling, but hey, I did not use too much bronzer because I'm not naturally bronzed, so it would just look stupid. And I love this bronzer, it smells great. Hello. For blush, I took this blush brush, which is my trusty blush brush, the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic in Pillow Talk. It's a nude, boring blush. You meant to go whoop whoop. I did this face. You're probably not supposed to do that face, but that's how I do my blush. And I mainly put it on like apples and up, just to give me that like lifted look. Literally, you can't bloody see a thing in this light, but let me tell you, it looks quite nice. And oh, also, if you feel like you have taken your bronzer and blusher down too far, you can do this. Obviously this is not natural, but whatever. So you take an angled sponge with some powder on, and then just carve it out a little bit. Also helps like it stay. This is probably the only baking I actually did, and I didn't let it sit for ages. It was just so it looked a bit neater on the sides. So literally I left it for like a couple of minutes, if that, and then brushed it away, buffed it away, so then you get more of a line. You know, you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it. I used the Hourglass finishing powder after I'd done all this. I used this, this is in the shade Luminous Light. Jacqueline Hill recommended this powder years ago for brides. She was like, oh yeah, it looks so nice, just like when you finished, just dust it over and it gives like a luminous look. And it's not glittery, it's just like, adds a really nice like sheen to the skin, makes you look a bit more alive, I suppose. So I just took this brush, it was this brush I remember clearly. This is the Luxe Face Definer brush, and I just swirled it round, and then like I did just then, dusted it over the skin. And yeah, then it just gave me like a natural dewiness to the skin. Then I did my highlight, and I used the Natasha Denona Super Glow. I went precise with my highlight. Yeah, so this is in the shade Light Fair. So I took a little tiny brush with it, and I literally just did my high points, and I really buffed it, really buffed it. And then what I did was I did my inner corner highlight, because I used this brush. I remember I used this brush. So this highlight, sorry, not blush. I'm a stupid person. So yeah, I took this little tiny shader brush, I've dusted it off, and I took the highlight and I popped this in the inner corner, and I did a little bit on my brow bone, just a smidgy. I didn't do anything complicated when I got married, because I kind of wanted it to be timeless. Like, I just wanted to look at the pictures when I'm old and be like, oh yeah, I did a good job that day. So yeah, and just blending that in. So then you can kind of see, like, I've got just a little bit of there, a little bit here, glowy skin. Nice. And then, so I did my highlight. Oh, I sprayed my face, obviously. Silly me. I used the Morphe spray just to do a light layer. So that's the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And then I used All Nighter which is my favourite scent spray. So then gave that a good old shake and went ham with it. And then I patted all my skin down just to make sure. So I've done my spray, and then what did I do next? No, I did eye mascara, but I wanted to feature this this Falscara kit because I thought it might be like helpful for someone who's thinking about getting extensions done for their like lashes and stuff. Maybe they don't have enough money, you know, pandemic. So I just wanted to do like a little tutorial. So I didn't use the Falscara kit on my wedding day, but I think I will when I have my like party section everything. So yeah, what does that highlight? So yeah, I'm going to show you how to use it. They recommend, so you have to use this stuff. This is the Bond and Seal. It's literally just like a glue and like a top coat stuff to stop it getting sticky. This is the Bond. It's like a dark lash glue, I suppose. But with these, they go underneath. So be warned, it is a bit weird. I did think like underneath my lashes. Are they sure? Like, but okay, if that's really what I want to do. I'm going to do this eye. Before we do it, I'm going to put some mascara on. I used my favourite mascara, which is the Dior Iconic Overcurl. You can curl your lashes. If you're going to use these Falscara ones, I wouldn't curl your lashes. And you also don't have to use mascara when you put these Falscara like little things on. So it's up to you. But if you're getting married, most people want to wear mascara. I didn't use waterproof either, but that's your choice. I just really like this mascara, it's my favourite, so that's why I used it. Okay, that's that. I've got a little blob on me, but yeah, so do your mascara if you wish, and then you can put the little wisps on. It comes with the Bond and the Seal, so you take the little wand out, and it's this bit is the Bond with the pinky side on it. Now I would recommend I would do it from inner corner to outer corner, just so you know like how much space you've got. So do it little tiny bits at a time. You do this like you would mascara. So you put that bit on. You've got a little bit of time, by the way, so don't think, oh crap, it's going to dry. You do get a little bit of time. So I'm just going to pull one out of the little thing with the tweezers it comes with. Boop. And then what you do is I find it easier to kind of like look down like that. That's the only way I would probably describe it. You just stick them to the underside of your lashes. Give them a little squeeze. And then you do the next one. I'm just brushing more glue on, sorry. So it is, I was like a little bit nervous of putting like glue near my eyes. I was a bit like, are you sure you want me to do that? Stick it to the underneath. Push them up. Pinch. Like that. Like I said, you can do it without mascara if you find it easier. Your decision, my friends. Okay, so once you've done it, it looks something like that. And then you take the Seal and just put this on to stop it from being sticky. And then they just kind of look like little extension-y type things. They're only really meant to add like an extension look. Don't know if you can see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the other eye, but I'm just going to put mascara on that one, and then I will show you the difference and see if you think there is one. So I've done mascara on one eye and the Falscara on this eye with some mascara. I mean, to me they don't look much different, but then I suppose if you've got shorter lashes or you know, sparse lashes as well, I think it'd look quite good. But if I just look up, to me it doesn't look much different. Just to finish up the eyes, I will put a little bit of a nude liner in the waterline. But first I'm just going to take a little bit of shadow underneath the eye, because that is what I did. So I'm going to take a warm brown and smoke it under here. There you go, like that. And then I did my lips. So I used the lip liner in Pillow Talk, I used the lipstick in Pillow Talk, and then I used this Huda Beauty lipstick in the shade Wedding Day. Accurate. I moisturised my lips beforehand, and yeah, then I just did my lipstick. I didn't use anything shimmery or creamy because I wanted it to last, so I got a creamy formula, but I lined the lip, didn't do any like overlining or anything. So then I put this on, and then I just took a lighter lipstick, put it in the middle. This is Valentine actually, from Charlotte Tilbury. You can use whatever you want. And then I blotted it in. Oh, I did a nude liner in the waterline, so I'm just going to use this. Just a shimmery nude liner. And then I think that was pretty much it. I didn't put any mascara down here because I didn't want to cry and ruin it. So just so you can see the difference between the mascara and the Falscara, that's what that looks like. I think they're nice. The one thing I will say is if you get the starter kit, you don't get any remover, and it says you need remover to take them off, so you have to buy this stuff separately. I've tried it with this and with just like micellar water, and I think it works exactly the same. So you could probably just use like an oil based eye makeup remover and it will take them off exactly the same. But yeah, and I must admit, when you use these without any mascara, they do make quite a nice difference. But this is just to show you what they look like. But yeah, I quite like them. I think they look quite nice. So final step, which I just forgot, is eyebrow gel. Give them that fluff, mate. Need to fluff them up. And that was it. Now it's the end. This is just a little review on the Falscara as well. And yeah, obviously I was not wearing pyjamas when I got married. So I hope you enjoyed it. You know, if you're thinking about doing your own makeup for your wedding, it is possible. Especially, you know, if you quite enjoy doing your makeup anyway. You're just using stuff that you know and you know is going to work well, and you know your face. Go for it. Hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, stay well. Goodbye. Clear my snoot, check for boogers. Nice. Oh yes. Hey, J2O.